troglodyte. Okay, let's read what it says. Especially in prehistoric times, a person who lived in a cave, okay, like a caveman. Then it say a person who is regarded as being deliberately ignorant or old-fashioned. Okay, a troglodyte. It's basically a caveman. Okay, I kind of get that. A troglodyte is a caveman. Okay, let's move forward. Further definition, troglodyte. A member of a supposed, like it ain't real or something all of a sudden. It's on Google. Member of a supposed prehistoric race that lived in caves. It was a race. Prehistoric race that lived in caves and holes. A caveman. By extension, anything that lives underground. Okay? The cave was populated by the albino scorpions, blind salamanders, and other troglodytes. Animals. Sound animalistic. So I just want to kind of point out some key words. Only other thing that you could associate with the troglodyte is albino scorpions, blind salamanders, you know what I mean, bugs and lizards, and other troglodytes like bats. It's getting deep. Let's go. So I'd like to get into the etymology, the breakdown of the word, the origin of the word. So they got the definition, plural noun, troglodytes, person lived in a cave, hermit, regarded ignorant, old-fashioned. Okay, origin, Greek. So we see who are the troglodytes. Where does this word come from? What's its origins of the word? Greek. Troglodytes. And you bust it down to Latin. Trogle, meaning whole. Trogle, meaning whole. So dite must be like a living thing, right? Okay, we got some literature coming from Search, Loaded, Pro Boards. But anyways, the ancient Egyptians speak about a race they created 6,000 years ago from the hairy ape man monkey. This creation was said to wreak havoc amongst the Homo sapiens. So the Egyptians rounded them up and imprisoned them in the Caucasus Mountains, which they called Europa. Euro after the queen, and rope meaning roped off, imprisoned or contained. Okay, let's continue on. The story relates that the Egyptian Moses was sent to the Caucasus Mountains to civilize them, giving them language, writing, and knowledge. They migrated south and conquered the Aborigines of Europe and eventually the rest of the world. It's interesting to note that the Russians do have ancient texts regarding an exodus. Okay, similar to that of the Bible. If you think this sounds a bit crazy, then you should look at the links below regarding Europeans in the Middle Ages who recognized both giants and hairy ape men, yetis, as man-like men who terrorized the indigenous populations of the world, but they were eventually portrayed as kings, seers, holy men, warriors. Here is something interesting that I came across. The drawings from the Grotte de Mache shows the various facial changes that took place among the Proto-Europeans who remained trapped in the caves until after 1400 through 1200 BC. Okay, it's getting even deeper. Let's go. So now, I want to take you back to the top of the article. Mary Magdalene painting in Munich above painted 1490. That don't look like no painting. Unless the dude painting what he see on the floor. So let's get into it. Prometheus, ancient Egypt, and the Caucasus Mountains, right? I want to take you to the top. It is speculated by many that God had imprisoned Azazel, that's the devil if you don't know, and Simjaza in the Caucasus Mountains, a punishment for their creation of the giants, Nephilim, men of fame, men of old, sons of God, as they were known. Not only did they create these giants, they gave them advanced weapons and programmed them for war and inhabited their bodies. The Greeks tell a similar story of Zeus, who imprisoned Prometheus in the Caucasus Mountains for creating a Frankenstein hybrid. It's interesting to note, too, that in the prologue of Mary Shelley's book, Frankenstein, she describes her book as the modern Prometheus. Most certainly a play on words from Mary, who most likely knew far more than most. So I just wanted to separate the Egyptian thing from the, biblical. So it's funny, I re-Googled it, and I found, is a troglodyte real? A troglodyte is a human cave dweller from the Greek trogle hole, mouse hole. Dien, go in, dive in. If you look at the bottom, it say, what is a troglodyte Indian? And it's funny how they always associate it with some type of animal, mouse hole, you know what I mean? Salamander, and I don't know, it's weird, right? So I got some synonyms for troglodyte. And it's just funny. It seems like they separate them from the Homo sapien. That's really what I'm getting at. Is it seems like if you're a Homo sapien, they seem to be kind of making a differential and separating the two. But let's get into the synonym. Caveman. Okay, we kind of got that earlier, right? Neanderthal. Okay, that's kind of a new word introduced. So you got etymology at the bottom. You got the history and etymology of a troglodyte. Latin, troglodyte, plural, from Greek. Okay, troglodyte, from trogle, hole, cave, akin to Greek trogin, to gnaw. Armenian, Arasim, I lead to pasture, graze, kind of like an animal, dying, enter. Okay, here's where it gets real, like really real. Visiting the troglodyte caves of Loire Valley. We look at France's troglodyte caves in the Loire Valley, as well as those found in the scenic Dordogne region. Okay, so they do exist. You see, it was people living in those caves, in them. Okay, let's get into it. Use my guide for some of the best places to see the Loire Valley troglodyte caves, which are just a 5-hour drive from Calais. Plus, we'll take a brief look at the caves found in France's beautiful Dordogne region. Sound a lot like Dogon, like the Dogon tribe. Let's go. What are the troglodyte caves? Historically, the caves were used to places of residence by the Loire Valley's less wealthy inhabitants. These are beautiful cave-like houses. Okay. Carved into tufa limestone cliffs and were used for hundreds of years by local dwellers. You can find many examples of the caves throughout the Loire Valley, and Most of them are still used today. Wow. The location of material of the caves means that they're often used for strong wine, with rooms staying cool in the summer and cozy in warm winter. The Salmur, that M-U-R, M-U-U-R, M-O-O-R, more. Let's go. Let's see what they say here. Okay. A troglodyte is someone that lives in a cave. If you refer to someone as a troglodyte, you mean that they are unsophisticated, do not know very much about anything. Troglodyte definition, meaning Collins and whatever. Bring it on down. What language do troglodytes speak? The troglodyte spoken language was a simplified version of Draconic. It could be transcribed, but never by the troglodytes themselves. Wow. Why are chimps called pan-troglodytes, or batch troglodytes? It just seemed to be heavily associated with animals, but that draconic, like Drake, like Count Dracula, Drake, Dracula. It's something I'm trying to catch on. Okay, so what I was thinking of was draconian. That's what I was thinking. So it's in Roman mythology, Draco was one of the giant titans who warred with the Olympian gods for 10 years. He was killed in battle by the goddess Minerva and thrown into the sky, where it froze around the North Pole. Draco. See, so let me connect the dots. I don't want you to think I was talking crazy with that Egyptian crossbreeding, the animal backwards and all that shit. Why are chimps called pan-troglodytes? The genus name Pan derives from the Greek god, while the specific name troglodyte was taken from the Troglodytes, a mythical race of cave dwellers. A mythical race now. Then you see down at the bottom, they got his bone tomahawk based on a true story. It's funny how this came out of the troglodyte conversation. Okay, let's go. Are bats troglodytes? Most bats sleep in caves during the day and hunt at night, but they are considered troglophiles, troglozines. You got troglobites. You know, it's all kind of things associated with animals. Okay, so we got the movie they was talking about in the Old West. A sheriff, Kurt Russell, his deputy, Richard Jenkins, a gunslinger, Matthew Fox, and a cowboy, Patrick Wilson, embark on a mission to rescue 3 people from a savage group of cave dwellers. I don't know if Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if this is a science fiction movie or this is like a basic regular cowboy movie, like no, fictional beast or mythical beast coming out to kill. Like this is a basic. So that's why I was saying, I tried to say earlier, like it was a mythical race. Then it's on other definitions, just a simple caveman. Like it's not a mythical thing, but a person. So back on point, I want to show that trog is a word. You understand how words put together, especially when there's a lot of syllables, more than 1 or 2 syllables. So trog is an obnoxious person, bore, lout, short for troglodyte. So it's ain't nothing about no mythical, magical people coming out the caves. People actually coming out. Okay, so we got troglodyte in Greek mythology, since it's if it's real or not. Herodotus referred to the Troglodytes in his histories as being a people hunted by the Garamantes in Libya. He said that the Troglodytes were the swiftest runners of all humans, known And they ate snakes, lizards, and other reptiles. I never heard a group of people that only ate reptiles. You know, that's new to me. Only. Okay, let's see that. Words related to troglodyte: hermit, flat, leaning, loner, beast. I told y'all it's related to something animalistic. You know? Bigot, bore, brute, clod, hooligan, Han, like the Han, okay? Ignoramus, lout, monster. Wow. Okay, we got Philistine, rascal, ruffian, vandal, anchoret, aesthetic, I think. Okay, we see what it is. Okay, we got the Collins Dictionary. Person who chooses to live alone in seclusion, recluse. That's kind of a mental defect, decline thing, deficiency. Anyone who lives in a primitive or degenerate fashion. Now that kind of makes sense. An anthropoid ape. Whoa, here comes that animal aspect. Right? We went from 2A, a person, to 3A, an ape. Whoa. Okay, we got an anthropoid, you know, resembling a human, ape-like, a brutish man with anthropoid features. Any of a certain highly developed primate, especially the chimp, gorilla, orangutan, gibbon, and some classifications, systems, any other. But okay, you see what they saying. So it's the troglodyte is an anthropoid. It resembles a human. Resembles. It's not. It's ape-like. It's like an ape. Okay, anthropoid. Google. Resembling a human being in form. Cartoons, anthropoid frogs. A higher primitive, especially an ape or ape man. Now, it say ape man right in your face. This on Google. You see it. This ain't no slick website talking about no web ape man. It say ape man. Okay. It's coming from the Mega Doctor. Scientists claim Rh negative blood type may not be from Earth. Do you follow me? Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see the picture? Who can house Rh negative? Who's compatible? Right? Do you see where this is going? It's not from Earth. They can't find its origin. You understand what I'm saying? So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it is. Okay, only 15% of human beings, have this strange type of blood. And what's more, these individuals have been described as having strange personal characteristics as well. Oddly enough, Rh negative blood can be utilized by human beings in need of transfusion, but only with Rh negative naturally coursing through their veins. Cannot make sure any other type of blood at all. Furthermore, the vast majority of these latter individuals happen to reside in Northern Europe. Even more fascinating are the facts that these people tend to have green or blue eyes. Okay, right? Naturally orange-colored hair, cool body temperatures, sensitivity to hot temperatures. Who does that sound like? They telling you who it is. They said what country, what continent. They said what area of the planet, specifically Europe. They said it, not me. More intriguing yet are claims that the physical, mental, and emotional awareness of these individuals is heightened. And no, this is not a sneaky lead into an upcoming movie or a sort of promotion or whatever. In fact, it's widely known that pregnant women with Rh negative blood have extreme, skip it. Is Rh negative blood alien in origin? This is from Gaia, Mother Earth. But the question has to be asked, is it even from Earth if we so-called can't determine its origins? Yeah, so I'm gonna pause it right here. We're gonna get back into this. Come back out of the rabbit hole.
And other animals as shown in the Darwin chart. Okay, as you can see on this Darwin chart right here, you see the ape. The black African took his DNA, put it into this monkey. From the monkey, he created this species, okay? He grafted, I don't know the whole entire alchemical process, but I'm quite sure he humanized this species and made this species. And from this species, he grafted this species and this species and this species to now the modern human. Okay, you had, he injected human DNA into Lucy. From Lucy, you get the Heidelberg man, then the Nebraska man, then you get the Piltdown, and then you get the Peking man. Okay, hold on, let me scroll down. Then you get the Neanderthal man. Well, this is the white man's ancestors, and the Neanderthal's ancestors is his monkey Lucy, crossed with human DNA. Okay, from this Neanderthal man, you get the Papua New Guinea black man. Okay, from the Papua New Guinea, he's the first of the 12 tribes of Judah. He's the first human that was produced that represent the 12 tribes of Judah. From this Papua New Guinea black man, they created the other different races, the Samoans, the Chinese, the Asian, the East Indian, the European, and all these, the Native American Indian, all these peoples were spawned and created from the Papua New Guinea African, who spawned from the Neanderthal, who spawned from the monkey. See? And this is why all humans on this earth have Neanderthal DNA, except for this man right here, the black African, who's the mother and father of all of humanity. He doesn't have Neanderthal DNA, nor does he have Rh negative blood, but the Rh negative, the white people with Rh negative blood spawned from this black African. So how did they get Rh negative blood and Neanderthal DNA? They were, these people are crossbred mutants, crossed from apes and other animals, okay? As you can see on this chart, okay? Got the first creation here, the Palapthekias, I'm having a hard time pronouncing these words, okay? The Proconsul, all the way to the Cro-Magnon man to modern human, okay? This right here was the grafting process that our African ancestors used over thousands of years in creating a new human, a new man. They created them from these apes, from these monkeys, okay? The apes and other monkeys, like the rhesus monkey, were injected with black African DNA, which resulted in the different hominid species such as Lucy and the earliest hominids, Sahelanthropus, Ororion, and Ardipithecus. Okay, all these species were created by the black African in an attempt to create a new man using ancient science known as alchemy. Okay. Okay, now these Euro nuts, man, they're trying to say that humans and Neanderthals bred, okay? That's bullshit, okay? First of all, there's no Neanderthal DNA in the black African. The black African did not have sex with the monkey and create the Neanderthal. That's a bunch of bullshit because humans and apes cannot breed. They can't breed. So how did you get the Neanderthal from a black African? I mean, you trying to tell me black Africans came in and made it with monkeys to create the Neanderthal? How did the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon man come into existence if they got ape genetic? They're human beings with ape genetic. Now how the fuck did that happen? It couldn't have been done through fucking breeding, because you cannot make a human and a monkey. They're two different species, so it had to have been genetic engineering. Okay, so these Euro nuts are trying to spin this shit, but you're not gonna get it with that Euro nut, because we're gonna point the finger at you and bust your ass, man. We're going to expose you for what you are. Okay, here you go. The evidence has been mounting for years that early humans and Neanderthals interbred, but now it's pretty much a certainty. Part of the X chromosomes found in people from outside Africa originally comes from their Neanderthal cousins. There you go. It's kind of amazing to think As recently as just a few years ago, scientific consensus was that humans and Neanderthals were completely separate species and probably didn't interbreed. Since then, a ton of new evidence has come to light to change that position, and now research from Damien Labuda of the University of Montreal more or less completes this big reversal. Okay, there you go. See, first they said humans and Neanderthals didn't breed. Now they're trying to say that they did. Okay, see, they backtracking because they're trying to explain how white people got Neanderthal DNA, not the black African. So, but what they're basically saying is the black African fucked a monkey and produced the Neanderthal. From this Neanderthal, who had white skin, I don't know how a black African will fuck a monkey and create a white Neanderthal from that. But anyway, from this, the white race was produced, which is bullshit. It doesn't make no fucking sense, and that's